Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Tech Talks. Tech Talks is a series brought to you by HR Tech, where we talk to HR and HR tech experts to unearth the latest trends and insights in the world of HR technology. Today, I'm delighted to meet Deepak Agarwal, CEO and founder of TurboHire. Now, TurboHire is an AI-powered recruitment solution, and it recently raised $2 million in pre-series funding. Congratulations, Deepak, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayank, and pleasure to be with HR Tech and sharing my views and thoughts on Tech Talks.
Pleasure is ours. If I can get the ball rolling, could you share, Deepak, what have you observed as the top business and talent challenges that are faced by your clients today?
Sure. So we originated in 2019, and we built our AI-powered recruitment automation platform for medium and large enterprises. And lo and behold, March 20, just about a year later, when we were in the market, the pandemic hit. Now, a couple of things which I observed is that some enterprises were very negatively affected, and they tried to do as best as they could in the pandemic scenario, like aviation, whereas some enterprises were benefited by the pandemic. However, they were in a new normal of execution. And the one thing I noticed is that the talent acquisition is not a tools problem. It's a systems problem. Now, with tool, you can achieve one or two tasks more efficient, but to hire a very large number of people who are now available across geographies for you, and onboard them right from sourcing till onboarding, you had to solve a systems problem. And that was a big change and challenge both for these companies who were just using an elaborate process, and in the elaborate process, few tools. But that paradigm simply broke apart in the pandemic situation. Now, the organizations are looking for system solutions, that is a platform solution, which is data-driven and outcome-driven, right from requisition generation, sourcing, up to or completing all steps of hiring, up to onboarding. So that's my thought on the talent acquisition side of how
very
things
interesting.
change.
Very interesting, Deepak. So what you're saying is traditionally we think of HR tech as tools, but you are looking at how these trends today that really impact adoption of HR tech at the workplace through systems rather than just tools.
Absolutely.
Very good. Now, many organizations are accelerating the pace of digital transformation. So what do you think is the role of HR in this journey?
So the role of HR, I will classify in four key buckets, and especially in the backdrop of the pandemic. One is talent acquisition, like attracting new talent to your organization and onboarding them. The second part is the internal mobility of the talent. Third part is about talent engagement. Okay, so people are not coming to office, or they are sporadically coming to office. How do you engage such employees with the organizational culture, the leadership thought, the market happenings, the customer happenings, etc. So the talent engagement. And lastly, workforce well-being or talent well-being. So I put them in 4 buckets. Now,
Right.
talent acquisition, about that, it's not a tools problem, it's a systems problem and needs to be looked at very comprehensively for the outcomes. Reflecting on other 3 areas, the talent mobility. Even though some of the organizations benefited in the pandemic and post-pandemic scenarios, the point there is that everybody had a new situations and the existing people had to change their way of working to meet these new challenges and fulfill new opportunities and find ways of doing things new way. The delivery options, order taking options changed. Several things happened. Okay. So ability to move people, change people to work in this new opportunities and new normal became a very big function of the HR. Next is the employee engagement. When people are working remotely, I like to give a metaphor that an office is like an orchestra. In music, there are some instruments you don't notice if they are there, but you definitely notice their absence when they are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So there are very little instruments which give the aura of the music, though you don't explicitly hear them. Now, employee engagement is something like that, that can you create digitally the full vibe of an office environment, which probably there are elements which you have never thought about what happens in an office environment, and make it data driven. So that is where a lot of learning and technology adoption needs to happen, and refinement of that adoption needs to happen. And last part is well-being, that there is a distance between asking a question that, hey, how are you feeling this morning? Yes, answer could be in, but you can also observe and say that this person is not really right. He's not, or she is not feeling right today. Now, there is a new set of technologies which need to come into, which need to go beyond the interview sessions and all that, or surveys, which are more observational or more AI driven in terms of really knowing who is doing well and who is not. So this is where now, overall, all 3 things, talent acquisition, talent mobility, employee engagement, and employee well-being. Unfortunately, in HR, there is a need of a heavy technology investment, because while all of these activities were done, HR usually has not been data driven. And that is where the problem between the CEO and CHRO is, that it's very hard for CHRO to pick up different things, because the HR systems do not generate real-time data-driven insights which can be coalesced into future action items.
Absolutely, I agree with you. How do you think we should encourage HR teams to be more data-driven and tech-savvy and adopt some of these new ways of working?
So there are different ways of looking at things. Okay, if in last 4 or 5 years running TurboHire, if I have got an insight, okay, and this is the insight, that HR wants to do things in a triangle: people, process, and technology. Correct? Now, usually there is a very high focus on people, their learnability, and their skills and other capabilities. There is another hitherto very high focus on the process. But technology has been adopted in sporadic tools manner, and there are a lot of data silos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my suggestion to the HR colleagues and co-workers in this segment is that on the technology, think about not tools, but systems. Systems which support the entire process and captures every activity and every behavioral aspect of interacting with technology.
Mhm.
Now, once you have a systems layer in your organization to do different HR activities, you would AI give you insights out of the systems. AI cannot work on data silos. It cannot give you insight from beginning till end if you are not doing the whole thing on a system.
Right.
And it is broken across tools. Then the AI will give you what people are really doing.
Mm.
The is that in their mind, they think and communicate their likes and what should be, but they don't tell you how they do it and why they do it. Now, the essence of human behavior is ultimately captured by the actions people have taken. That's their true behavior. A survey, people will say that I would like to do this, but in reality, they are doing something else. The systems will capture those actions to give you the real insights that why people, everybody will say that I will come in the office, part attendance is 40%. So the system should capture all the activities, and that insight will give you more action. And then you will be able to prove to your CEO the ROI of the HR function.
So coming back to ROI, and how do you help your clients, HR teams, get the leadership buy-in for their HR investments?
So my product is mostly into the talent acquisition piece. We are able to enable a talent acquisition head or a CHRO say, with this technology, I will be able to help you in your revenue generation. Now, that's the outcome CEO and COO want.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's their own. Now, the follow-through question will be, how would you add to my revenue generation? Now, the CHRO is not talking about, we will do incrementally X thing better in sourcing, incrementally Y thing better in interviewing. We will do incrementally better at lesser cost in background verification. What you are saying is that now I have a systems platform by which I will help you do better on revenue. Now, to prove that, the CHRO should be able to say that because of my new technology platform and the people and the process, I will hire 3x better people in half the time. Now that CEO will help you achieve your revenue goals faster. If you are hiring people 4 weeks earlier, then you are deploying them into business 4 weeks earlier. And therefore, I will give you revenue support.
So be on the outcome side, right? Define the outcomes that will be generated by the technology. And you really like what you said about it's more than just tools, it's systems, right? It's systems that will generate those outcomes.
Yes.
So, I mean, despite their best efforts, some organizations are still hesitating to invest in HR technology. So what advice would you give these enterprises? Some of them may be small enterprises, right? To how do they get started in their digital transformation journey?
Again, I would like to give through a simple example that Amazon is not just a website. It's a whole system that once you place an order, any college student can build a website which can take an order. But Amazon is larger than a website to take an order. There is a whole system which gets the package delivered at your doorsteps at a given time. Right.
That's
the
right.
beauty of Amazon is 95% fulfillment system. The website is only 5%. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if they don't deliver what they promise in terms of delivery, nobody will buy from Amazon very soon. Now, my advice to HR tech folks or people in HR is that when you are buying the technology, the one thing which needs to be understood that no longer just people and process will achieve the outcome. They will need assistance of technology to perform. So technology is definitely coming in as an element of work. Now, when you select a technology, go back to the outcomes you are promising to your peers and other colleagues in the organization and look at that the technology you are choosing, is it giving you data not from the initial step of user performing the task, a recruiter sourcing, okay, from the other end of outcomes, does this technology I am choosing give me data closer to my outcome? One very important thing, Mayank, I am saying here is that most HR people select a technology for the functional requirements of the users. Okay, the ticks and the clicks and the navigation. And if you do just that, you will get a system which makes users efficient. It's immaterial or maybe not be possible for that technology to be meeting your outcomes. So right. It's happy users, ineffective technology, not delivering outcomes to the CEO. First thing the HR tech folks should ask is that, okay, I will look at features and what users want. Yes, they are also important and equally important. But what is the data you are going to give me over 1 month, 3 months, 5 months, and 12 months, which is near to my outcome achievement? Then that's the right technology.
Okay, so once again, be outcome-based,
Yes.
not focus just on the technology, just the employee experience. But at the end of the day, what is that technology going to deliver for your organization? So what's next for Turbo Hire? What do you have planned for?
So Turbo Hire has come about as a platform, okay, AI-powered recruitment automation platform. What we are able to offer to our customers is a systems solution which delivers 3x better quality in half the time of recruitment cycle. Now, it is because we looked at 39 hiring activities. Every organization, one way or the other, will perform a subset or full set of these 39 hiring activities.
Right.
Okay. Now, how can you continuously accumulate data on all 39 activities? And for the user, how many of these 39 activities, which are mundane, tedious, repetitious, how can you automate them? Now, start to perform on Turbo Hire, it has, because of the granularity of 39 hiring activities, it has the data which proves the outcomes.
Okay. It's already built in.
It's already built in. And therefore, the whole thing happens very quickly. So what is next for Turbo Hire is a couple of things. That one, our AI across these 39 activities has become very, very large. The knowledge graph has become very large to fulfill medium, large enterprise needs. Second, we were focused on India and Southeast Asia. Now we are going global. We are looking at US and other geographies because the platform is already being used there.
Right.
Lastly, we have started to build value addition to the organizations who use large HRMS platforms like SuccessFactors, Workday, Oracle. So to give a better time to market, this talk is addressing those HR folks that even though you have a SuccessFactors or Workday or Oracle, you can 3 to 5 weeks time, you can slid in TurboHire as a coexistence over these platforms and change your outcomes. So that integration led offering to the medium large enterprises is our next frontier. So 3 frontiers: deepening AI, global expansion, and serving larger enterprises.
Very exciting. It's a real the market is very ripe, I would say. As you say, technology is critical for HR operations in the future, and no HR team can learn to be effective, let alone efficient, without the use of technology. So I think your platform provides the right systems, tools, data to help accelerate a lot of their adoption. So thank you so much, Deepak, for your time, and wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be talking to HR Tech.
Pleasure.